What's up, everybody? It's Nate with 100-Year Athlete Mobility, and today we're going to talk about a quick warm-up before you ski. This should take about 10 minutes, and it's something you can do really quick before you leave the house when it's a beautiful day. You're going to get some POW, you're going to be in the park like me. Whatever it is, this is a great way to get everything ready for what's to come. We're going to start kneeling with some spine cars. Articulate the spine forward, take your chest over a hip, side bend your shoulder, roll like you're going over a box behind you, side bent on the other side, chest over hip, back to forward and neutral, then reverse it. Articulate forward, chest over hip, side bend, roll your back like you're going over a box behind you to the other side, chest over hip, return to forward and up. We're going to do 2 more of these each way, so 3 each side each way. Just grooving through, getting in touch with what the musculature around my spine is feeling like today. Keeps me aware of maybe some problems that I might have, some areas I can spend a little more time with if I need to. Last one here. After 3 spine cars each way, we're going to go quadruped, hands and knees, and we're going to do hip cars here. When I do quadruped hip cars, I think about action between my palms and my knees. I'm going to pull the ground together, and I'm going to push my belly button up through my spine so I'm a little bit rounded. And then I'm just moving through hip cars, 3 of them. Just in the space that I have with cars, I always say, never be greedy. I'm just moving with what I got. After 3 each way on one side, I can turn around and do the other. Full hip cars, just moving through that capsular space of the hip, trying to fight to keep my ankle high as I do, but I'm not moving anything but my leg, just my hip involved. After 3 hip cars, each side, each way, I'm going to grab a seat and I'm going to choke out one leg. So my arm goes underneath, left arm under left knee, grabs right bicep, right hand on top. I'm choking out my knee. Now I'm going to go up into dorsiflexion, toes towards ankle, and now I'm going to just draw a shallow U with my heel. So I'm getting rotation below the knee. Once I've got that rotation, I can feel that rotation in my lower limb. I'm going to rotate one way, kick, pull, rotate the other, kick, pull. I can also do that in reverse. I can kick, rotate, pull, kick, rotate, pull. I like kick, rotate, pull the most, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you're getting equal kick-pull with each rotation, we're doing knee cars. I'll show you profile for my other leg. Choke it out, dorsiflexion. Practice that shallow U. I can feel the calf moving back and forth. Then I'm going to rotate, kick, rotate, pull. Kick, rotate, pull. Getting equal rotation, kick, pull, each side, each way. Nice. After I'm done with knee cars, I'm going to grab my leg. Instead of choking it out, pull the knee up towards me into hip flexion. Now I'm going to imagine my foot is in a block of clay, and I'm going to do circles with my ankle, and I'm going to visualize every circle scraping more and more clay away from the block. So I build good tension. I do big circles. I try to keep my toes relaxed. I try to be as smooth as I can. And I do as big of circles with my ankle as possible. 3 circles each side, each way. Nice. Other side, I'll show you profile. Pull up into hip flexion, and then going through the full range of motion of my ankle. 3 circles or so each side, each way. Nice. After I'm done with my cars, I'm going to come into a deep squat. If it's not possible for you to get into a deep squat without pain or discomfort, you can do 1 leg at a time here. I'm going to do 2. So I'm going to come into a deep squat, and now I'm going to do circles around my ankle, alternating direction. Show you profile, deep squat, and now I'm doing circles. I'm going to do 10 circles in each direction. While I'm doing this, I'm going to think about action through the ball of my foot, my whole foot pushing down as I move through. I'm also going to be living in the musculature involved in making this movement, which for me, when I do these, I really feel the front of my shin. So 10 circles each direction, or so. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm terrible at counting, so I'll always screw that up. After I'm done with my deep squat circles, I'm going to come into a 90-90 position. When 90-90s come into play, what I think about is my front leg straight in front of me, 90-degree bend at the knee. My back leg straight to the side, 90-degree bend at the knee. Now what I'm going to think about is action through the ground. So I'm going to push the entirety of my front leg down, and I'm going to squeeze with the entirety of my side leg down. So I'm adding tension into the ground. Now I'm going to live in the anterior tissue of my front leg, that front pocket stuff. I'm going to use my groin and that front pocket musculature to pull myself down. So even though gravity is helping me and I could just collapse if I wanted, I'm going to try to use that musculature up front to help me down. And now I'm going to live in stuff in the back of my hip to push me out. So pull myself down, and now push the leg into the ground and come out. This is called kinetic stretch. I'm going to do 6 of these on each side. Using as much of that leg as I can. My arm is supporting, it's helping a little bit, but my leg is doing most of the heavy lifting. Now I'm going to swap sides, and I'll go to profile this time for you. 90-90, front leg directly in front, side leg directly to the side, 90-degree bend at the knees, squeezing into the ground, pulling myself down, pushing myself out. About 6 kinetic stretches. Nice work. Awesome. After our kinetic stretch, we're going to go back into a quadruped experience. Hands and knees. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick my leg straight. Once I'm straight, I'm going to try to rotate ball and socket. Now if you got that and you can feel that rotation, I'm going to abduct that leg. So I'm going to take that leg away from me and try it out here. I'm going to do 6 rotations each side, each way. Nice. Swap sides. Quadruped. Straight leg. Hip extension. Squeezing my glute. Rotating ball and socket. I got that. I'm going to abduct. Take it away from the midline. Try to get that same rotation away from you. Again, I'm tight in my core. There's a little bit of action between my palms and my knee, and I'm rotating. Beautiful. Now I'm going to grab a seat. I'm going to sit in a V-sit with my legs slightly separate from one another. Now I'm going to pick up a leg, put it back down. If that was very hard for us, that's where we'll stop. If you want a bit more challenge, we're going to pick the leg up and rotate ball and socket. 6 each way. Nice. Other side. Pick up, rotate. Hip flexion. V-sit hovers with axial rotation is what this is called. 6 each way. And again, that movement isn't from the knee or the ankle. It's up here in the hip. Nice. Feeling juicy, feeling a bit warm. Now we're just going to finish with some cars. Back to quadruped. Hip cars. 3 each side, each way. And other side. After my hip cars, I'm going to go back to a kneeling position, stack glutes, articulate forward, 3 spine cars. One more. Now it's time to get out there on the slopes. Thanks again for joining me with this 10-minute warm-up for 100-year athlete mobility. Have a great time on the mountains.